E come sempre a Calciomondo ci avviciniamo anche a dei mondi che non appartengono alla FIFA. Sono dei paesi, dei popoli lontani e meno lontani, i quali cercano a tutti i costi di ottenere il loro diritto a partecipare a grandi competizioni calcistiche. E abbiamo oggi in linea uno dei giornalisti, peraltro freelance ma di grande successo, che viene dalla Gran Bretagna, che ha recentemente pubblicato un libro, Outcasts, The Lands That FIFA Forgot, vale a dire i fuoricasta, intendendo con questo i paesi al di fuori della FIFA, appunto quelle terre che la FIFA ha dimenticato. Un libro molto di successo in Gran Bretagna, ma che cerca anche successo altrove, siccome parla davvero di nazioni e luoghi molto remoti, mondo calcistico da interpretare assolutamente. E abbiamo qui in linea l'autore, direttamente dall'Inghilterra, Steve Menary. Hi Steve, welcome to Calciomondo.
Hello Antonio, nice to speak to you.
Yeah. Thank you for participating to our schedule. I introduced yourself and your book, but can you please talk us about the genesis itself of the book and the tasks, the need of such a book for passionates, for football fans?
I write for before I used to write for an English magazine, and about 2.5 years ago I wrote an article about why the Channel Islands, Jersey and Guernsey, which is where Mathieu Le Tissier and Graham Lasso come from, why they didn't play international football, because they are very different to the rest of Great Britain. So, and I wrote an article about that, and why the Isle of Man, which is in the northwest, again is very different to Britain, why they didn't play international football. And after I'd written this article, I started to think about, well, you know, there must be other places. FIFA can't accept everybody, so there must be some other places that FIFA have rejected. So I looked into it, and I found out more about Greenland and the Falklands and the stories there, and I thought maybe this might be good to do a book. It might be enjoyable, and it was very enjoyable. So, and
yeah.
It took me about 2 years, I think, on and off.
Yes, it's a very interesting matter. But your thoughts about the title itself, Outcasts Forgot by FIFA, the lands forgot by FIFA.
That's right. Yeah, I think the title actually, the publisher came up with the title. I think that was a good title, really. I forgot the original one. It was just a working title, but I think that's a good title, you know, because these are places that have been cast out, you know, that they're not allowed in FIFA, so they must, you know.
Yes, let's talk about the places, the several places you visited, and a special feature, a special souvenir about a certain match or a certain place, a certain land you visited and which emotioned you.
Well, I went to the Island Games, and that was very interesting. I went to the Shetland Islands, which is the very north of the UK, and they hosted the Island Games. I went there to see the football because it's very hard to go to Greenland. It's very expensive, or the Falklands is very expensive. So I went to the Shetlands to see these people. It was much easier, and they were all playing football. And it was a very uncommercial event, the Island Games. There's athletics and cycling and other sports, and it's something that's just it's just gone past the media and commerce. There's maybe 2,000 athletes there in many different sports, and it's not commercially exploited, and it's not oversold, and there was a great spirit there, a great spirit of people joining in, and that was, you know, and I enjoyed that very much. So I enjoyed that, and also I went to Hamburg in 2006, just before the World Cup. They had a tournament there for Tibet and Greenland and Northern Cyprus, Gibraltar, and that was very enjoyable too, because it was hosted by San Pauli, who are a very interesting club. So those are both very good experiences doing the book.
Okay, that's fine. In your book, 224 pages to be read with full color pictures too. It's made up of some chapters, of course. You already mentioned your visit to the FIFA World Cup in Hamburg, in Germany, but then you can talk also about Island Games, you talk also about ELF Cup in Turkey, but also in somehow about NF board activities and managers, aren't you?
Yes, yes, that's right. Yeah, the NF board people. I went to a couple of meetings, and they were very interesting. You know, they're very interesting people to meet for the NF board. They have you know, great enthusiasm, and because they're trying to do something different, and so they were some nice people. Jean-Luc Kitt and Christian Michelis were very nice people to meet.
Yes, of course. As for the Viva Cup itself, you wrote about Lapland's triumph.
That's right,
Yeah,
triumph, yes.
right.
The Lapland won the Viva World Cup, that's true, yes.
Yeah, of course. Then, after the book, let's talk a bit about yourself, your activities as a freelance journalist of some prestigious magazines like World Soccer. Talk, please, about yourself, about your particular ability to be a freelance sport journalist about international soccer. Just a summary of your activity, as you already told a bit before.
My background really was for business journalism, you know, so I wrote more about the business side of things. And for about 10 years I wrote for a magazine called Sport Business. It started up in the mid-90s, and I wrote for it on and off for 10 years, and that was all about the commercialisation of sport and the commercial opportunities from sport. So I did that for a long time, and then I started to do a little bit of, as I say, sport journalism. And World Soccer really were very helpful with this book, Outcasts, because I was researching the book and I couldn't find a publisher, and then I found a publisher, but in between the two, World Soccer asked me to write each month on the subject of non-FIFA football, and they said if you find a publisher, then that's great, you know. But so really, for World Soccer was very important to helping the book get published.
Okay, that's fine. You know that our spectators, our crowd, we can say, is very interested about non-FIFA football. We have a special branch in our schedule, sometimes dedicated to all these soccer words everywhere in the world. So your book will be very appreciated, a lot appreciated from for our spectators. And finally, as for the book, whether an Italian version can be previewed and when?
Italian? I see, yeah. Oh, I
yeah,
don't know,
because,
I think,
because you know, there is a lot of people which can be expecting for such a version.
Oh, well, I will ask the publisher, but I'm English, so of course, being English, we can only speak English, can't we? We can't speak any other language, most of us. Or maybe the younger ones, they're much better. But, so yeah, I will ask the publisher if they can have one in Italian. Yeah, I will see what he says.
Okay, that's fine. Okay, Steve, I thank you, and hope to see one day here too in Calcio Mondo schedule.
Yes, that will be very nice. Yes.
Thanks for participating tonight with us.
No problem at all. Thank you very much, Antonella. Thank you for having me.
Okay.
Okay, ciao.
Ciao.
Bye-bye.